Boston continues to show her frustration. It really started a couple possessions.
Okay, so the team just managed to lose in the most laughably absurd way possible. The game clock was moving slower than dial-up internet, and somehow Stephanie White is out here pointing fingers at literally everyone except herself. Yep, the players are suddenly the villains, the clock malfunction was a cosmic prank, and the coach? Totally innocent, of course. The final buzzer finally croaked its way to the end, but instead of a dramatic finish, it looked more like someone accidentally plugged their microwave into the scoreboard on defrost mode. The delay was so ridiculous that fans started wondering if hamsters running on wheels were secretly powering the arena. Forget strategy. Everyone was just squinting at the scoreboard like it was some ancient hieroglyphics puzzle. And as this chaos unfolded, frustration hit a boiling point.
I think there's a double standard in how people get their calls. I think Kelsey Mitchell, number one, is held or chucked on every freaking possession and never gets a call off the ball.
Fans were furious, players were rattled, and memes spread across social media faster than the game itself. Twitter compared it to a high school science project gone wrong. Others swore they'd seen smoother timing at bingo night. But the cherry on top, Stephanie White's post-game routine, where she once again reminded the world that accountability apparently doesn't apply to people with head coach in their job title. And here's the kicker. This isn't the first time a coach has tried the blame everyone but me strategy. Remember when Jason Kidd literally told one of his players to bump into him so he could spill soda on the floor and steal a timeout? At least that was creative. Or how about when an NFL coach once blamed the wind for his quarterback's terrible game? Legendary.
Yeah, well, turnovers certainly hurt us. I think there were like three turnovers in a row that led to threes. Turnovers hurt us, and our lack of attention to detail defensively. I thought our defense in the second half was outstanding, but it's got to be for 40 minutes, and it's got to be all five.
But here's the difference. Those meltdowns are remembered as quirky footnotes. Stephanie White, on the other hand, is building a resume of excuses. It's no longer a one-off, it's her signature move. And fans? Oh, they've got memories like elephants when it comes to this stuff. See, Stephanie White has this magical pattern. When her team loses, the universe is always at fault. The players didn't execute. The refs were blind. Maybe Saturn wasn't aligned properly. Funny how it's never her. Her coaching philosophy seems to be, soak up the credit when things go right, hand out blame like party favors when things go wrong. And fans? They're catching on fast. This isn't her first not my fault press conference. It's basically her signature move at this point. Ironically, the same clock that derailed the game is the perfect metaphor for her coaching.
Yeah, you said on Wednesday that there were some things you liked, some things you didn't like about the Aerie, Caitlin, like double point starting lineup. Just with working with that the past couple days, is that something you're planning to continue today?
No, we're going to go back to our original starting lineup today. That was also something specific to Golden State. We're going to go back to our original starting lineup today with Lexi back in there.
Always running slow when accountability comes due. Here's the reality. Blaming players is the cheapest, laziest cop-out in sports. It's like saying, don't look at me, I just work here. Except, no, she runs the whole operation. A coach's job isn't just drawing up plays. It's setting the tone, calming the team when things spiral, and most importantly, owning the moment. But when the clock fiasco swung the momentum, what did White do? No timely timeout. No smart substitution. No adjustment to counter the other team. Just a whole lot of figure it out followed by you failed. Leadership, apparently. By the way, if you like the commentary so far, hit that like button and subscribe. Let us know down in the comments what you think.
Are you trying to get me fined again?
I am not.
There's a level of physicality that they're able to play with against her. I knew it as an opponent, and I see it as her coach. I'm not exactly sure why, but it just is what it is.
Should Stephanie White be replaced? If so, who would be a great replacement? Now, about that horrendous clock delay, it wasn't just some minor hiccup. It shattered the Fever's rhythm and gave the opponent just enough oxygen to flip the script. Great coaches anticipate adversity. We've seen teams survive power outages, wet courts, even streakers. But for White, a 60-second clock glitch might as well have been the apocalypse. Fans can tell the difference between a tough loss and a coach dodging accountability. Real leaders step up, eat the blame in public, and hold players accountable privately. That builds trust. That keeps a locker room united. Stephanie White? She's perfected the art of scapegoating. And players feel it. Imagine grinding all game, only to walk into the locker room knowing your coach is about to tell the world you're the problem. That kills morale fast.
And then what did you make of Sophie Cunningham's flagrant foul on JC towards the end?
It was a flagrant foul.
Do you think it's like defending Caitlin or defending the team, or how do you view just how it all?
I view it as a flagrant foul.
If you thought the game itself was chaotic, the internet after the final buzzer made it look tame. Twitter was basically on fire, Reddit turned into a therapy session, and TikTok had memes rolling before the players even left the court. One fan compared the delay to waiting for AOL dial-up in 1999, while another swore they saw smoother timing at a Chuck E. Cheese arcade. My personal favorite? A meme of a hamster on a wheel with the caption, "Breaking news, fever clock operator takes lunch break." The funniest part? These jokes weren't just from random fans.
And Coach, your team was up by 5 after the first quarter. Then the game flipped in the second quarter. What do you want your team to get back to doing here in the second half?
Well, first and foremost, we got to take better care of the ball. I think we had 6 turnovers in that second quarter and got a little frantic in that 11-0 run that ended that second quarter.
Even analysts were chiming in, turning the press conference into a national roast session. The bigger issue? Once a coach gets branded as excuse-driven, every single loss becomes a rerun. Fans stop asking what went wrong and start saying, "Here we go again." Social media wasted no time roasting her. Jokes about her playbook having 2 pages, blame players, and repeat, were everywhere. Analysts piled on too, pointing out that eventually, the spotlight swings back to the coach. And when credibility is gone, it's nearly impossible to recover. The truth is, the best coaches in sports eat blame for breakfast.
I think Aaliyah Boston is the worst officiated post player in the league. She never gets a call. And you know, there's a double standard there, certainly.
They know owning mistakes builds respect. Even legends lost games, but they gained respect by protecting their players. White missed that memo, and now she's dangerously close to losing not just the locker room, but the fan base too. So where does this circus leave the fever? The players can only take so much before morale flatlines. Fans are already storming comment sections with #FireWhite hashtags, and when the noise gets that loud, the front office has no choice but to hear it. The reality is, if this continues, we're not just talking about a bad loss, we're talking about the potential end of White's tenure. And here's the irony, she keeps blaming her players, but it could be that very blame shifting that ends up costing her the job. Imagine explaining that one on a resume. Reason for dismissal, threw too many people under the bus. Because let's be honest, if accountability were trophies, Stephanie White would be ringless. If excuses were banners, she'd have a dynasty. And if patience were infinite, fans wouldn't already be calling for her job. But patience isn't infinite. The only clock she should be watching isn't the one on the scoreboard. It's the countdown to her inevitable goodbye.